Hello, everyone, and welcome to another virtual edition of Words from Behind the Desk. My name is Vakaira Fai.
And I'm Rania Arwani.
And this is Words from Behind the Desk. If this is your first time watching us, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Just in case you did not know, this is live. So if you have any questions or anything, please make sure you go ahead and comment. Ask them right now. We have an incredible guest today. If there are any questions that you have for her specifically, go ahead and ask us throughout the lives. We will keep an eye on it to make sure that we get to your question. I don't know where it's located on me, but please make sure you join in on the conversation. If you are a regular audience member, thank you guys so much for joining us again. We have an incredible guest today. I'm super excited for this conversation, and I'm excited to just dive right in.
So today, Bakari, we're going to be talking to the face of the OCBA. And even though she does not like to be called the face of the OCBA, but there isn't a better and a prettier face to represent at least my bar association than first African-American Black president of the Orange County Bar Association.
LaShawnda Jackson. Hello, LaShawnda.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited that you're here and excited to dive into this conversation. LaShawnda, we've had the chance to speak briefly, and just I'm already in awe of everything it is that you have going on and all of the different projects that you're doing and are kind of rooted in the community. And so I just kind of want to start out there, right? So it's definite that you have a heart posture towards the community, and you are the Orange County Bar Association president, so it's our community. Have you always had that heart posture toward it, or was that instilled at a young age? I just want to get a little bit of background about LaShawnda.
Well, it's certainly something that was instilled at an early age. I, grew up in a very poor neighborhood and community that didn't have a lot of professional people involved in my life. And I had a lot of great teachers and other people who introduced me to people. And I always found that very fascinating. I was so appreciative. I am still appreciative to all the opportunities they provided for me. And so for me, it's giving back to my community they gave to me.
That's incredible.
So there is a story, LaShawnda, that you shared with us when you were younger. You were taken to NASA to meet some African-American scientists. Would you like to share that story with the viewers?
Yes. I can't remember if it was either 9th grade or 10th grade. I was in AP English, and my teacher's husband worked out at NASA as an engineer. And I actually played basketball with her daughter, so I'd met him on several occasions, and I honestly think he must have saw a spark in me. And so he actually took me out to NASA to meet 3 Black scientists. I was in awe. I never knew that Black people could be scientists, or there were Black scientists. And I was just so inspired by them. It didn't lead me to want to be, a scientist, because math and, science, I just didn't want to stick with those kind of things. But they took me out to the Space Center. I got to see the space suits. I got to see, things from behind the scenes. It just totally inspired me. And so anytime I get a question or somebody wants me to talk to some kids, I am always yes. Just because I may not touch somebody and they may want to become a lawyer because they met me, but at least they know that any dream that they have can come true, and the color of their skin doesn't matter.
For real. And those scientists were female also, right?
Yes, there were 3 female scientists, and they were, incredible. They talked to me,
awesome.
Asked me about my dreams, what I wanted to do, told me about their jobs. It was just such a great experience.
Go ahead. Sorry,
No, I can only imagine how striking that had to be for a child, and especially a part of ingraining who you turn into, right? Like, I think that that's so awesome that you had that experience to meet those individuals, and I'm surprised that you didn't turn into a NASA scientist. Law is the one that got you, and I'm glad that it did.
A lot easier.
You said law's a lot easier.
I don't know about that. LaShawnda, you are you're so motivating. Especially when it comes to, motivating younger, children to kind of pursue their dreams. Let's talk about the Magic program. I know you do a lot for the Magic program and the adolescents, girls. Can you talk to us about that program, please?
It's part of, I believe, the Junior League program, and I had a coworker and a friend who were both members of Junior League, and they came to me one day and said, we have these meetings every month at the Juvenile Detention Center for the females, and we go over a lot of different things for them. But we also like to bring people who might be able to inspire them, or they can learn from a professional. And I said yes. Of course, I was going to do it. Again, it's kids. If I can be a motivating factor to anybody, I'm certainly going to be there. And so I went the first year, and I said, "What do you want me to talk about?" And they said, "Well, you can tell them about what you did in practice and how you got there." And I actually shared with them, my story, how I grew up, and against all odds, I became a lawyer, and has prevailed. And it was just moving. They shared with me some of the comments that the girls made after I left, and every year since then they've asked me back, and I've gone back to speak to them. The girls, a lot of times it changes. They're different girls, and I actually remember once where I had a family member who said he had been in juvenile detention center, and he said, "Well, people used to come when I was there, and I didn't really pay them any attention." And I said, "You know what? That doesn't matter to me. If I can just touch a girl,
right,
I've done
just
what
one."
I need to do. And so that's always been my motivation. If I can just touch one, hopefully I can touch more than one. And I talk to them about, how to get their life back on track. And I deal with my niece and nephew, plan A, B, and C. How are we going to get there? And so that's what I love doing, and I do it every year.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And no one needs more help than, the young girls at our detention center. And you're an inspiration. And you think you may touch one. I bet you've definitely touched way more than one.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Definitely. And then I know that, becoming president, is that something that was, originally on the list of things that you wanted to achieve? Or is that just like, what? I can do whatever it is that I want to do. I don't have to get in line. I don't have to wait around. I don't have to wait for somebody to give me the okay. This is what I want to do, and I'm deciding to do it. What cultivated that, or what is the thing that prompted you to even serve as the president, or choose to take on this endeavor of creating new community projects? I know you were talking about installing a community service day, the duties and responsibilities that it takes. How was it to make that decision, to decide to do something that maybe not a lot of people want take on the task to do?
For me, it started with, I've got to give her a shout out. Her name is Yvette Rodriguez Brown. She's an attorney here in town. And when I came to Orlando to work during the summer when I was in law school, I attended a young lawyer section luncheon. And she was so welcoming. And she walked up to me and she started talking to me. And she said, "When you come back to Orlando, this is the best organization you can be involved with." And it was a young lawyer section of the Orange County Bar. And she said, volunteer for a committee. Maybe someday you'll be a committee chair, and then you'll make the board. And I actually was the first Black president of the Young Lawyers section of the Orange County Bar Association about 6 or 7 years ago. Most people missed that, but
wow, congratulations.
For me, it was, it was just her guidance to telling me, to get involved, and I did that, and I saw it. I was given an opportunity, and I had access. And so, after that, it's just a goal, keep climbing. I can be the president of the Orange County Bar Association. And nobody who's ever looked like me has ever been there. So I'm just going to take it on myself. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make a good reputation for myself in the community, so that when I'm ready to run, I'm going to be respected, well known amongst the members, and I'll be elected as president. And that was just my goal. You mentioned lines. I've heard this theory about, have to stand and wait in line. My thought process on that is maybe there's a lot of people standing waiting in line. That's why we haven't had a Black president. I don't see a line. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work hard, and when I'm ready to run, I'm going to run, and that's what I did. And I thank our membership and their support the entire way through.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
That's amazing.
And then, go ahead. The Orange County Bar Association, they were established in 1933. 1933. How does it feel for you to be one of the first Black female president since the establishment opened? How does that feel for you as an individual? I know that may not have been what it is that you were trying to proclaim and trying to establish, but that's what it is. And so for you, how does that feel?
Quite honestly, it's a double-edged sword. Sad that we had to wait to 2020 to get the first Black president of the Orange County Bar Association that was established in 1933. But on the other side, it's great. I feel like my peers have supported me. They knew I didn't become the president just because I was Black. I didn't become the president just because I'm female. It's because of the hard work and dedication that I did and the respect that I garnered from the members of our organization. And I always have to say that more important to me than being the first is to make sure that I'm not the last. And that's by doing my job, doing a good job, and open the doors for others who look like me, who might also want to serve as president of the organization.
That's incredible.
That's amazing. LaShawnda, what is the major projects coming in 2021 that you would to share with the public?
Well, the pandemic has unfortunately put a stamper on a lot of different things and a lot of different organizations. Things
oh, yes, we know.
We're not able to. So one of the things that I have been, since my days on the Young Lawyers Section Board, I've always been about community service and doing community service projects. And we actually implemented for the first time ever for the 2020-21 year a community service project committee for the Orange County Bar Association. And it was my hope that through this committee, we could go out into the community and do, support our community. One of the things that we wanted to do was have a community service day. And there are lots of different bar associations, even here in Orlando. We have, the Hispanic Bar Association, the Asian Bar Association, the LGBTQ Association, Paul C. Perkins, the Black Bar Association. But what I wanted was for all of these organizations to come together on one day for one community service project where we go out into our community and help. And, our first meeting we had, it was wonderful. Everyone had all these ideas. We turned it into, well, let's just have this big community fair where we bring in other professionals, maybe some doctors to do some initial screening, lawyers to talk about some legal issues. And so that was our plan to do that this year. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, that does not look possible to have this. It would need to be an in-person event. So what we've done is we've transitioned for this year to the various bar associations working together to create mini videos. And so we're pushing out on social media. We started back in, I believe, the first week of January. They're doing little videos about various legal issues that the community might want to know about or understand better. And we're pushing those out, trying to educate the community about the law. It is my hope we continue that program. We have another series of videos that are being made right now. And it's my hope that the president that comes behind me will continue this, and that next year we will be able to have the big community service day that everybody was so excited about.
So awesome. And then I want to ask you, because listening to you talk and how there's a line and there's no line, and everything it is that you're looking to establish while you hold your presidency. I just want to know what it looks like after LaShawnda Jackson is no longer president. How is the OCBA continuing, or how can we be a part of, or what initiatives are there to ensure and to make sure that you're not the first and you're not the last? What are are some initiatives that are happening, or what is it that we can communicate? What is it that the OCBA is communicate? How can we continue to do our part to bring as much awareness to the OCBA as possible?
Well, first it starts with, us and doing a good job, which I think we have done over the
I
last,
agree.
several years, is recruiting new members, minorities
Mhm.
as well as non-minorities, having a diverse bar. And when people feel like they're welcomed, when people feel like there's programming that relates to them, they will join. One of
Yeah.
the great things that I got to do, that I hope will have a lasting effect, is as the president of incoming president of the Orange County Bar Association, I appoint a lot of different people. I appoint the chairs to every single committee that we have in the organization.
Mm.
I appoint, members of some of our sister organizations, our board of trustees for the Legal Aid Society and our OCBA Foundation. And one of the things I was very strategic about what I did before I started my presidency is I wanted to make sure that we had diverse people heading those committees, on those boards, and so that they can get the opportunity and access that I got when I came to Orlando, so that they could
That's
someday work their
awesome.
way up if they want to be the president of the Orange County Bar Association. They've now had access. They've gotten the opportunity to know the inside, and they can work just like I did and become the president of the Orange County Bar Association, just like I did.
Mic drop. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I have so many questions still. I know. I'm trying not to keep talking, but I just want to keep talking to you. I'm sorry, Rania. Do you have anything, Rania, that you'd like to add?
I mean, we should go out for lunch, and maybe the lunch will
I
take me a couple of
know.
hours just to get to know you better, LaShawnda, and that's going to happen, I think. You're an amazing
Okay.
person.
But I'm just gonna eat our lunch right here while I'm talking to you. Tell me more. Tell me more. Okay,
Yeah,
I
it's great.
apologize,
I've met a lot
guys.
of great people, and yeah, it's okay.
It's we're in a completely different world of networking. And what I love about our show is we get to connect to such incredible people, and you're one of those. I just have you have a wealth of knowledge. And I know for our audience that's watching, if you're looking to get more information, if you're looking to see how to have your own conversation with Miss Jackson, you guys can always go to orangecountybar.org. You can always email us or reach out to us at manager@arwanilawfirm.com. Just so I can go ahead and say that before I continue in my ranting questions. I know that there's so many things that you in the OCBA that you're doing for the community. How does the general public get involved? Do I have to be a lawyer to be a part of what it is that you're doing for the community? How does the general public get involved?
Absolutely not. We have a lot of great programs, not only for the people in the public and who are non-lawyers in our community, but we welcome anybody's input, anybody's desire to help. Our Legal Aid Society takes on volunteers, non-lawyers who might be able to help with some screenings or other things that they can do. We've had a lot of interns at our bar associations where people want to come in and learn. Anybody interested in participating or getting involved with our community service project, we'd love to have you. Just reach out to the orangecountybar.org, and we'll get you set up. There's a wealth of information on the website, but we also have a lot of people who are willing to work with you if you have great ideas, or things. Maybe what we envision for the community is not what the community envisions.
You're
If you
right.
wanted to see something different in what we planned for our community day, we'd certainly love to have it. We've been pushing out these, some videos right now. I'm dealing with legal issues. If anybody has a topic, hey, I have a question about this, I don't understand. We can't really give you legal advice, but we can give you the basics. I can certainly pass that off to somebody and say, or work with somebody to say, hey, we've got a request for a video on this topic. Let's get it together. And our lawyers think they're great actors, so they love this stuff, to get on camera and do skits and those kind of things to demonstrate to you. So if anybody has something that they think that we could do better in the community, or we could do more in the community, we'll certainly be happy to do that. We have lots of talks where we go ask a lawyer, one of our great events that we do, where people in different parts of the community, I think we do a lot of them at the Mark Center, where, people might just have questions on a particular type of law. If there's a topic that we're not doing and we're able to do, we certainly welcome somebody to say, hey, can you do this topic? And we work to get that done.
So LaShawnda, I don't know if Bukai knows, but Bukai, do you know in 2019, the OCBA donated 11,233 pro bono hours?
No, I did not know that.
I don't know the 2020 numbers yet, but in 2019. So you can imagine how much work LaShawnda at this point is kind of managing.
Yeah, you guys are definitely.
One of the things that's different with our bar, than any bar association in the state of Florida, and I believe maybe even in the country, is anybody who is a member of the Orange County Bar Association, they have a requirement to accept 2 pro bono cases, or they can make a donation to our Legal Aid Society. So we are, pro bono is in our heart. It's in our core, and so we encourage our members to do that. We have various opportunities for them to help. And it's just another part of us giving back. That's what really got me loving the Orange County Bar Association. The dedication to the community service pro bono.
And it's people like you that make the Orange County Bar amazing and the best in the country.
I tend to agree with you on that one.
Exactly. We're on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad that we are. Guys, again, if you guys are looking for more information, if you're looking to get involved, if you're looking for questions to be answered, you can visit the website that's scrolling on the bottom, orangecountybar.org. You can always email us at manager@arwanilawfirm.com. And LaShawnda, I just have one more question. And that is, she's, it's okay.
No,
but just for your younger self, what would you tell the younger you that, would maybe drive you in a different direction, that could spark something in an audience member and somebody else right now? If you could tell the younger you something, what would it be?
Wow. I was just talking to somebody about doing something, and I was like, I hate that question. It's just so hard. It
is.
It's hard because I think every experience that I went through as a young person has helped mold the person that I am. From everything to all the teachers. If any of my former teachers are watching, I'm sorry. I love you. I joke with my friends. I said, guys, I was the only person in the 6th grade who had straight A's and didn't make the honor roll. And it was because the conduct. I talked a lot.
How did you do that?
Weird. Yeah, so back then they counted conduct to honor roll, so I wouldn't make honor roll, but I've got straight A's. But I had people who continue to support me. So, but that's all shaped me. I just had a mediation, and I was listening to the media talk about her son. She's worried, he gets into trouble, and I share my story with her. She goes, oh my God, that makes me feel so much better. So now to get back to your question, I guess it would be just to accept who you are. Accept, constructive criticism. All of criticism is not always constructive, but you just got to believe in yourself. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you are not worthy, that you are not good enough, that you don't belong somewhere, or that you are. I hate it when people used to think. I always get people like, well, you're here because of affirmative action. That was one of the most devastating things I could ever hear.
Yeah.
I had, when I was coming out of law school, I had one of my classmates say to me, we're talking about bar prep, and, he's like, oh, I missed, 5 questions on that bar exam. How'd you do? He's like, but you don't have to worry because you're Black and you're female. You'll get a job. And literally my words to him were, yeah, I am Black and I am female. I will get a job, but one has nothing to do with the other. So you'll always find somebody who's trying to discourage you, and you cannot let that happen. That would be my message to my younger self, is just don't get bogged down into it. Don't, give in to what people say and make that who you are, what you believe. You just have to stand strong.
Oh, I love that. And trust the process, it seems like, because it's been a process for you and you've just been trusting it and kind of letting it guide you. Wow, that's incredible. Guys, this is LaShawnda Jackson, president of the Orange County Bar Association. If you are looking for more information to get in contact her, to see how you can get involved community-wise, please go ahead and visit orangecountybar.org. If you have a question for us, you can always email us, manager@arwanilawfirm.com. It's been an incredible show. Please share this with everybody. Share it. Just go ahead and share it right now. And we will be back here next Wednesday at 2 p.m. We appreciate you. We love you guys. And LaShawnda, thank you so much for giving us a moment of your time today.
Thank you, LaShawnda. You've been amazing.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
You guys have a good day. Bye, guys.